on notice and informed them I felt they were not meeting my needs and or best practices, and it was a quality of care issue, and I stated I would not wipe my ass with their degrees. And if in any circumstance that nothing was done most expeditiously, I would make this known, and they had by $1,000. Believe it or not, with the climate that it is today and how veterans are exposed to law enforcement, yep, they called the Alachua County Sheriff's on me. They showed up 3 times that day. My dear airborne Calvary Scout friend is also in receipt of the exact same services that I am. By calling on me, they endangered him too. I was gone when all this occurred. I was out apartment hunting. After figuring out that exactly nothing would change, I called the VA HUD-VASH and explained that after all is said and done, they were all I had. I submitted to them. They procured me a room for approximately 2.5 months at the day's end. I moved into my apartment in September and have been here since. These are the takeaways from this incident. 1. Banta properties should not be in receipt of any housing urban development grants that are earmarked in any way for recipients of Section 8 or HUD-VASH. It is unsafe and unsanitary, and Alachua County's approach is pro-Banta properties, always. Veterans who would receive HUD-VASH would be more likely than not disabled. It is unsafe, and why would the VA HUD-VASH allow this to happen as the stewards of the HUD-VASH program? 2. The Gainesville Housing Authority. Authorizing GRU to cut off the power without notice, like 24 hours notification at least, for 8 hours. 2 HUD-VASH recipients resided there on that property. I complained and nothing was done of it. They sought my rent at $280-ish. When they got caught, it went to $160-ish. Violation of the HUD Bill of Rights, 6 months, no retaliation. Reed did it with only 6 minutes. My Gainesville housing case manager was right there on the phone with them in their office. I had resided there prior for 4 years with no incidences. Never late, never had my lights cut off. Gainesville Housing Authority somehow got me a 10-month lease and did not facilitate, aid, or intervene as to me not signing another lease or a compromise with Banta to leave Holly Heights. It was not standard practice or practical to sign anything but a 12-month lease, and upon discovery, it was the will of the Gainesville Housing Authority to keep me there against my will at Holly Heights. The VA did not compel them effectively. Separation between the entities is what I perceived, but it was their will and it was done. When presented with safety, trash, and cockroach infestation, and my complaint as to the fact that Banta displayed predatory tactics as such witnessed by the VA when they tried to take $100 from me, all of which violates the HUD Bill of Rights. Gainesville Housing Authority stood idle. Although subjective, of which I will quantify later, it appears as if Gainesville Housing Authority is in some form of collusion with Banta properties, each with the other, and the VA which is a conflict of interest for the veteran. I was not immediately rehoused. They had every chance from 20 June 2020, and it took me until September 2020. I had to stay in a hotel environment where a man got murdered. He was shot 3 times right there in front of us. That was awful. That sets the tone to where I was warehoused with other vets from 20 June until September. Imagine the bill they had to pay for that. The HUD-VASH of the United States Department of Veterans Administration, Gainesville, Florida. This is what I have to say about them. They have absolutely minimal effect, period, with the Gainesville Housing Authority. They are the stewards of the HUD-VASH program, but yet they have no direct control or are unwilling to stabilize housing situations between veterans and the Gainesville Housing Authority and or our leasing agents. This is not conducive of a treatment plan that would work. That's probably why when you get a higher functioning veteran like me, there is no resolve. This is all a quality of care issue. When I am truly besieged by reality and my mental health issues, you send a nurse to bring me pills. When I am in complete 3-dimensional crisis, there is no resolve, which is poor programming, another quality of care issue. When the HUD-VASH was confronted by me for their inability to meet my needs in a timely and orderly response, which was like months, and I called their professional abilities into question, they called the Alachua County Sheriff's Office on me. No other time were they concerned with all this that went on, all the episodes of crying on the phone with them, all the episodes that I went through and fear for my life with them. No other time were they concerned with all this. And then when they are confronted, they, like Banta properties, call the law on me. And I have committed no crime, nor have I displayed any mental health concerns. They were just butthurt. On the 1st of July, I contacted the director of the North Florida, South Georgia, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I talked to his personal assistant and conveyed my situation. Nothing match-rated except to the fact of when I called the director, I was told by HUD-VASH that it is just passed along, blah, 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 to them. To the Alachua County Sheriff's Department and the Gainesville Police Department. My first contact with you at Holly Heights was when you arrested and violated my neighbor's probation because my landlord, Banta Properties, Lady Jane, asked you to. His name was Caleb Pogue. The Banta Properties, immediately within minutes of him being taken away, Banta Properties emptied the contents of his apartment and changed the locks. The next morning, the judge that heard his case did not violate him on his probation because he saw through this. I have never imagined that law enforcement and the Department of Corrections, Probation and Parole violate someone like that. You're sworn to uphold the rule of law and the United States Constitution. And yet you violate a combat veteran, even though a felon. You did in that incident to Caleb Pogue. You have absolutely no idea the level of betrayal you have instilled in me. When you encountered me after a few minutes past 10 a.m., May 26, 2020, you saw me with a 10-foot sign, a 10-foot PVC pipe with 5 24-inch wide by 36-inch long poster boards attached. In large stenciled black letters, you could tell I had put a lot of work into it. It was affixed to my Alice pack frame. and of which I was wearing it backwards, and on my head was my 82nd Airborne Division hat. When you all 5 of you approached me, you started not by introducing yourselves, you started in belittling me and saying things that were unbecoming. After gaining control of your unprofessional-like personalities, I stated my call to action. You were unsympathetic in the least. From 10 a.m. until approximately 11:15, you stopped me and kept me from doing what I had every right to. When you seized my person and violated my Fourth and First Amendment rights, as well as toyed with me at your leisure, and I had already declared my situation, I videoed you, order me by your authority, of which I complied, knowing that you're wrong, and I knew you were wrong, and I was preparing to leave. The first video shows, but when the GPD officer started in again, my camera went back on. I only called you 2 names, Gomers and Peckerwoods. You reflect that, especially when you act like a redneck lynch mob. The only reason I fared so well with you is because you knew that I was different, and my demeanor set the tone as to say to you in mild undertones that you were wrong, period. Even for encountering me. And then you lied about the tax appraiser. You lied and did Banta Properties' will. The Alachua County Sheriff's Office was the ones who put the aha moment together for me when they said that there was Fed money coming into Holly Heights, 4 bets, and I was counter to that. Thank you for all you did. See, the way I see it, and the way the real law goes, is I had every right to complete my action to get the attention I couldn't through the normal channels. It didn't work out like that. So when I went home and seen George Floyd that 26th of May, 2020, I realized I better just pack and leave Holly Heights. Thank you for not hurting me. I saw in those videos how you were posturing and how mad at times you were, especially when I frustrated you with the truth. How egotistical you were and how I really didn't matter. Only what Banta wanted did matter. Alachua County Code Enforcement, Health Department, and the County Commissioner, Mary Ellen Wheeler. You are equally useless in real matters. You have the powers of resolve. Banta never had a business license, no property insurance, violations for days. Couldn't even find out who owned any of this. Couldn't even find anyone who owned this. How? How is it like that? There are another slew of videos and texts that is evidence that no one did what was the law, and each with the other conspired and confederated for whatever unacceptable, unethical, illegal reasons. This is how frustrating it is to receive services in Alachua County. This is how frustrating it is to receive service as a veteran in Gainesville, Alachua County. Thank you for your time and effort.
I'd like to say hello to everyone. I just wanted to show some of the text from the 27th of May, the day after that I started this, to everything's date, time, stamp group. That's my sign. It was 10 foot. This is what it's like living at Holly Heights. This is the 29th. Everything you see is the actual date, time, stamp group. There's no discrepancies. 10 people and just bust loose. You can't stop a mob, even with a box of buckshot. I would just like to say how thin. Look, I'm talking to him. You can read them as I go. You can pause it. Look, there's a pole. It's less than 10 foot. My pole's 10 foot, and you can see the overlap. Just say it's 10 foot. That's too close. And you can hear the everybody's responses to all this mess and how these people get away with this. And the housing authority come out and inspected. This is the next morning. This is the next morning. This is the 29th. This is Friday. The next morning. See? That's right here. Not even 12 hours later. It's crazy. Look, I'm talking to him. I'm kind of embarrassed. You have to understand I have mental health issues and I'm under a lot of stress. And can you imagine how thin I was stretched and what other people would do that were less equipped to handle the situation, like conflict resolution and all that? I was threatened on a weekly basis there. People, I mean, it was just terrible. You didn't even want to walk down the streets. That's me talking with him. Look, I'm telling him, I got to get out of here. Look, Monday, June 8th. Look, they both went to a Black Lives Matter. They tried to get me, all hemmed up and stuff. And I'm telling him about it. He sends me to Alachua County Crisis Center. This is his remedy for that. And he's a master of licensed social work. And this is their implementation of their best practices. I can't see it. I can't tell. I'm showing him all this. I'm texting him. This is who I'm texting. Look, I'm telling him, Gainesville Housing Authority, they're holding up. Why am I not getting? It's accepted, but they can't validate it because they won't get back with them. Look, she has not returned my call. Everything in gray is his response to me, which is very limited in any situation. And I'm not on these people until now. Now I'm on them because I got to get out of there. All right. Tamara spoke with Housing Authority and they will schedule an inspection. This is my bug situation. This is 10 June. 10 June, I wrote him. A massive fight just broke out across the street. 10 males just kicked the door in and went and beat the shit out of somebody. And I don't want that to happen to me. Get me out of here. How do you stop 10? This is more. And Nathan and Angela, who's the leasing agents, Angela Willis, she's driving around and they throw a bottle at her. And the fellow that I'm talking with, my master licensed social worker from HUD-VASH, who I'm enrolled in intensive case management, I'm telling him this. This is him. There's 87 texts to him. That's June 11th. I'm trying to tell him. Now, I can't talk to certain people because of the situation, so they want to palm me off on another social worker, and I'm trying to deflect that. And I'm telling them I can meet y'all at Dollar General because the last shit that went down was catastrophic. That whole Black Lives Matter thing and all that erupted out there. Look, and I'm telling him, just a while ago, 4 armed men jumped out of a red pickup truck. As we were talking, this happens all day. And they set up a grid and they run the police dogs. I mean, it's crazy. And these people can run into your house. This happens every minute. 30 minutes ago. What a wonderful place to die, I say. I can't go out there. Gainesville Housing Authority came by June 11th, 2:55 p.m. The roaches are just coming out. I filmed them. You saw the dumpster too. I'm thinking I'm getting out of here. No, I told him, I said, the 20th, I'm done. Look, please be advised. Complaints. I've lodged them. I'm shifting gears and I'm signing off as bipolar 1. I mean, I'm just out of control with this. Anyway, look, that's early. I mean, that just happens. I'm telling him about the arrears. Look, okay, sounds good. Best stay to paid up. He's telling me all along that I should pay. That's my deposit, $700. They're just authorizing pay. Okay, I'll work on that. Thank you. I'm telling him to get my fucking excuse my French, get my Gainesville Housing Authority case manager on that. Look, I have not heard back. This is the 18th from the 17th. It just gets crazier. It just, this is where I went to. This is where I went to. I don't know if y'all can see it and take notice. This is where I moved 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters from my other location to this one, into this, a bicycle avalanche on an air mattress. And I'm telling him that it's better. I'm glad you're in a better place. And the money's still going. This is American taxpayers' money that's vested in me due to my service to my country as an airborne cavalry scout, being all I could be for my country. This is nothing. They called the law on me. Okay, I'm glad you're in a better place. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm trying to say, please help me. You're still my $700. I want my money back. I mean, I just want to be gone. What can y'all do? I'm telling them that I wouldn't wipe my ass with their degree. All I want is my doing proper, and y'all did steal my $700. I want my money. I'm adamant. Okay. I'm telling them it's a brand new day. They done called the police on me. I got over that. Lucky I was gone apartment hunting. I'm telling them, look, with all that was going on with Tamika Wynn, all kinds of issues with all these people, and at least 5 prior incidences to you. Because, I mean, this place is crazy. I'm having to defend myself. Basically, I use verbal judo on them. But I have to defend myself on a daily. It is unsafe in the least. If you look at the criminal reports, they try and hide them and everything. This place is scantless. Anyway, I'm going to pause this for a moment as I gain my composure. Thank you for your being patient. I mean, all these services that I have in place, and this is how this incident has maturated to. And now I've tangle-footed with the district attorney's office, as in the making of this video. Right now, I'm fixing after this, call the Alachua County District Attorney's Office, because I went in there Friday, I believe it was the 16th, and I'm trying to get the footage from wherever I went in the door, because I made a mistake by going in there. I was told that was the right place to go. Anyway, I just wanted that to go out there. This is, I'm going to see this through to fruition. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to make my airborne objective, though I be the lone survivor. I'm telling you that I want justice, and I need help, and I'm seeking it, and this is what I'm doing. And if anybody else is experiencing this experience, I can be reached at 352-226-6001. And you can call me anytime. And if you need my help, maybe I can be some help, or just an ear or a shoulder to cry on. Thank you for your time and effort spent reviewing this. I got to cut off and keep it short. I'll probably make updates. Look for them.